Halo's story spans thousands, if not millions of years, from our dear home planet Earth to the shield world of Requiem. One man has been saving the galaxy for a few years now, John 117, aka Master Chief. But the story of Halo begins long before the Master Chief puts his helmet on, and is not about to be over. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and here is the complete Halo timeline. 10 million BCE. An advanced civilization called the Precursors ruled over the galaxy. They created several species to populate the universe, including humans and the forerunners. The Precursors wanted to give one of these species the mantle of responsibility, appointing them protectors of the universe. The Precursors initially wanted to give this mantle to the forerunners, but changed their minds and gave it to the humans. The forerunners didn't like how the Precursors were playing favorites with humanity. They rebelled and wiped out almost all of the Precursors. The ones who survived turned into dust, eventually became corrupted, and turned into a parasite called Flood. After they wiped out the Precursors, the forerunners took the mantle of responsibility as if nothing ever happened. They took control of the galaxy, watching over the other species. The truth about what happened to the Precursors slowly faded away. Future generations were left to believe their creators simply disappeared, leaving them the role of protectors of the universe. 150,000 BCE. Despite being ripped off the mantle, humanity kept evolving on Earth. They eventually mastered interstellar travel and became a powerful interstellar empire. 107, 445 BCE. Humanity discovers the Flood in one of their colonies near the galaxy's edge. A war breaks out between humans and the parasite, and humanity tries to escape, venturing near the Forerunners' empire. The Forerunners, seeing this as an invasion, declare war against humanity. While the humans manage to win their fights against the Flood, the Forerunners, led by Didact, defeat humanity. 106,445 BCE. After winning the war, the Forerunners return humanity to a hunter-gathering state, depriving them of their technology. 97,745 BCE. If humanity pushed the Flood away from its colonies, the parasite wouldn't disappear from the galaxy. The Flood attacked the Forerunners, who were weakened by their war against humanity. The Forerunners and the Flood will fight for over 300 years, before the Flood will eventually infest all of the Forerunners' colonies. As the Flood is about to infect the entire galaxy, the Forerunners create the Halo Array, a network of superweapons that could wipe out all life in the galaxy. As the Flood feeds on sentient beings, killing them would starve the parasite and stop its progression. To make sure the universe will survive such a genocide, the Forerunners left behind seeds of living population across the galaxy. The few surviving Forerunners went into self-imposed exile and passed the mantle of responsibility to humanity. 938 BCE. Two opposing factions are at war: the San-Shayum, later known as the Prophets, and the Sanghili, known as the Elites. The Prophets want to use the remainder of the Forerunners' technology to search and explore the galaxy, while the Elites believe this will be a desecration of their holy artifacts. 876 BCE. After decades of war against the Prophets, the Elites realize their only chance to win is to use the Forerunners' technology, despite their initial reluctance. 852 BCE. The war between Prophets and Elites come to an end. The two species create the Covenant, a religious hegemony worshipping the Forerunners and the Halo Array. 2160 to 2200. Humanity advances past its hunter-gathering state and begins exploring space again. To oversee space exploration, the main piece in the colonies, humans created the United Nations Space Command, or UNSC. Rebel groups opposed to the UNSC appears throughout the galaxy. 2517. The rebellion grows stronger in the human colonies. To end the insurgency that raged throughout the UNSC, Dr. Catherine Hazley from the Office of Naval Intelligence moved forward with the Spartan 2 project. The goal of this project is to create an army of super soldiers that could protect the UNSC from threats, both internal and external. The UNSC abducts 75 6-year-old children who were previously selected by a gene candidate pool and clones them. The troopers, codenamed Spartans, are trained for combat and become powerful genetically enhanced soldiers. February 3rd, 2525. The human colony of Harvest detects an alien object hovering above the planet on its long-range radar. Soon after, all contact with Harvest is lost. Humans send ships out to find out what happened to the colony, only to realize the Covenant destroyed it. The Covenant ships destroyed all human ships but one, which they send back with a warning for humanity.
For your destruction is the will of the gods, and I am their instrument.
2531. Following the attack on Harvest, Vice Admiral Preston Cole from the UNSC gathers the largest space fleet in human history to retake Harvest. They manage to defeat the Covenant ships, but the losses are heavy. Nearly 2/3 of the fleet will never make it back. 2535. The war between humans and the Covenant rages on until almost all humans' outer colony worlds are destroyed by the Covenant. To hide and save their hometown, or home planet, Earth, humans set the Cole Protocol. Whenever ships must jump out of a battle, they do so at random points in the universe, far from their true destination, Earth. This way, the Covenant cannot track the ship and destroy humanity's last bastion. 2552. If the Covenant hasn't found Earth yet, they keep on destroying all human colonies. The UNSC assembles a strike team with some Spartans at the human command base on the planet Reach. This strike team was supposed to target the Covenant's leadership, but an attack on Reach stopped this plan. Most of the human fleet is destroyed by a Covenant attack. A Spartan, John 117, manages to escape on a ship, the Pillar of Autumn. John 117 will later be known as Master Chief, the most iconic character of Halo's story. September 19th, 2552. The ship's onboard AI, Cortana, leads John 117 to a recently discovered Forerunner artifact on Installation 04, a huge ring floating in space. This ring is called a Halo by the Covenant, and it serves as a containment facility for the Flood. It's also a powerful weapon that could wipe out all sentient life and starve the Flood to death. A Covenant ship is also present on Installation 04, and a battle ensues. The aliens defeat the UNSC Pillar of Autumn, which crashes into the Halo. John 117 and Cortana manage to escape as the Pillar of Autumn explodes and destroys the first Halo. The Covenant cannot let this defeat go unpunished. The High Prophets of Truth, Mercy, and Regret deem Commander Thale-Vadamy guilty of failing to protect the Halo. The Covenant strips Thale-Vadamy of his rank, title, name, and honor before sentencing him to death. The High Prophets of Truth and Mercy have other plans and offer to commute the sentence if Thale-Vadamy agrees to become the next Arbiter. The Arbiter is kind of a space sheriff for the Covenant, who is likely to die in battle, but at least he will not be hung by his entrails, what the Covenant had initially planned for him. October 20th, 2025. The Covenant eventually finds Earth and attacks. John 117 and the UNSC Marine manages to push back the Covenant, but their leader, the Prophet of Regret, escapes and kidnaps Miranda Keyes, the daughter of Captain Jacob Keyes and Catherine Halsey. They are heading to another Halo ring, with Master Chief and Captain Keyes close behind them. John 117 defeats the Prophet of Regret, but the Covenant strikes back before he can escape. He falls into water and is dragged into the depths by the tentacle of the Gravemind, an ancient and intelligent flood form. Thale-Vadamy, who was on the Covenant ship that attacked John 117, also falls and is captured by the Gravemind. The Master Chief and the Arbiter meet for the first time, in the most unusual situation. John 117 and the Gravemind explain to the Arbiter that the Halos are not sacred rings, despite what the Covenant says. They are actually mass destruction weapons and destroy life, not save it. John and Thale-Vadamy go back to the surface to try and stop the ring from being activated. They manage to find the key that activates the Halo, called the Index. However, even if the Halo is not exploding right now, the Index sends signals to the other Halos in the galaxy. They are now in standby mode and can be activated remotely from the Ark, a Forerunner installation whose location is still unknown. John escapes through a Forerunner dreadnought, leaving Cortana behind to detonate her ship if the Halo was firing. November 3rd, 2552. A civil war breaks out within the Covenant. Half of the Covenant sides with Thale-Vadamy, the Arbiter, and renounces the Forerunners as gods. The other half joins Jul Madama and still worships the Forerunners. November 17th, 2552. While John 117 was busy on the second Halo ring, the Covenant didn't leave Earth alone. They found a large Forerunner artifact underneath the African desert, and the Prophet of Truth wants to activate it. John 117 and the Arbiter come back to the planet just in time for the artifact activation. A large portal appears above the artifact, and at the same time, a Covenant ship filled with the Flood crashes in the nearby city of Voy. It appears that the ship was the one that was contaminated on the previous Halo ring, and John 117 finds a message from Cortana. She warns Master Chief that the Gravemind is coming to Earth with an army of Flood. The humans team up with the Elites, one of the Covenant's races, to defeat the Flood. They cross the portal and arrive at the Ark, a huge installation that could control all Halos and act as a safe space from all Halo detonations. A ship filled with the Flood crashes on the Ark, releasing the parasite. This infestation strengthens the Covenant's need of firing the Halo rings despite humanity's protest. The Prophet of Truth, who activated the Forerunner artifact on Earth, forces Sergeant Major Avery Johnson to activate the rings. Miranda Keyes tries to stop Johnson, but the Prophet of Truth kills her and forces the activation of the Halo rings. This messes up the plans for the Gravemind, who asks Master Chief and the Arbiter to stop the initiation of the Halos. The Flood helps them reach Truth, taking out Covenant defenses. They manage to reach the Ark's control terminal, the Arbiter kills the Prophet of Truth, and John 117 deactivates the Halos. As the threat is now gone, the Gravemind betrays Master Chief and the Arbiter, preventing them from escaping the Ark. As they are now trying to flee the Ark, John gets visions of Cortana. She leads him to a control panel where he discovers that the Ark is creating a new Halo to replace the one they blew up. Realizing the Flood cannot be defeated, John decides to fire up the new Halo. The Arbiter joins him, and the two will go through the Flood-invested spaceship that crashed earlier to find Cortana and the index needed to activate the Halo. Before leaving the ship and following Cortana's suggestion, Master Chief overloads the engines to create an explosion that would kill the Gravemind. Master Chief and the Arbiter make their way to the new Halo. The Flood tries to stop them, but they manage to activate the Halo to get rid of the parasite. They hop on a frigate to escape the Halo before the explosion, but everything doesn't go as planned. While the first half of the ship containing the Arbiter successfully travels through the portal, the second half with Master Chief and Cortana isn't as lucky. The portal deactivates as the ship goes through it, cutting it in half. John 117 and Cortana are sent to an unknown area of space, far from the Halo's blast, but also far from Earth. Cortana activates a distress beacon and puts John into cryosleep. 2557. After 4 years, 7 months, and 10 days in space, Cortana wakes up Master Chief. They are in the orbit of Requiem, a shield world used as a military base and a research facility. Their ship is boarded by Jul Madama's Covenant, the part of the Covenant still worshipping the Forerunners. As Master Chief destroys one of the Covenant's cruisers, the planet opens and activates a gravity well, pulling everyone inside it. John 117 wakes up inside the planet. Cortana reveals she's going into the first stages of rampancy, the terminal state of artificial intelligence. This condition makes her act erratically and can lead to the AI to long for godlike powers while despising all other life forms. The Master Chief suggests finding a way back to Earth to see if Dr. Halsey, Cortana's creator, can fix her condition. As they make their way to a localized cartographer, Cortana picks up a signal from an unknown source. They find out that signal comes from the UNSC Infinity, a spaceship asking for help. Upon further investigation, it seems that the signal doesn't directly come from a UNSC ship, but from the core of the planet they are on. At the center of Requiem lies a giant spherical object broadcasting the signal. The sphere breaks open, revealing someone introducing themselves as the Didact. He defeats John 117 and declares that his people, the Forerunners, are back in control of the galaxy.
The Forerunners have returned.
John 117 and Cortana separately meet an imprint of the Librarian, a highly influential Forerunner life shaper. She tells them about the old Human-forerunner's war, the conflict over the mantle of responsibility, and how the Forerunners sent the humans back to a hunting-gathering state. The librarian also warns the Master Chief about the Didact's plans of using a device called the Composer to forever imprison all of mankind into digital form, turning them into Prometheans. To give John the means to defeat the Didact, the librarian alters his genetic code, making him immune to the effects of the Composer. Master Chief follows the Didact and a Covenant fleet to a new Halo, Installation 03. Covenant, under the Didact's control, attacks the UNSC science facility orbiting the ring that houses the Composer. John tries to destroy the Composer, but it is too late. The Didact fires the weapon and kills everyone on the base, except for Master Chief. In order to bring down the Didact's shields, Cortana replicates herself to overload the system. The hollow pedestal holding her chip is destroyed, and Cortana joins the Composer's system. She helps John defeat the Didact and destroy the Composer. As her energy is fading away, Cortana forms herself into a visible form and touches the Master Chief for the first and last time. Cortana dies as the Composer collapses around them. John is found among the space debris and brought back to a UNSC ship. 2558. 8 months later, 2 UNSC teams gained in importance. Blue Team, led by John 117, and Fire Team Osiris, led by James Locke. The members of Blue Team are all Spartan 2 soldiers, the ones that were abducted when they were 6 and trained for battle their entire life. Fire Team Osiris has young members, all Spartan 4, a new generation of soldiers that joined the UNSC once adults. Fire Team Osiris goes to the planet Kamchatka, occupied by Jel Madam's Covenant, to retrieve Dr. Halsey and her intel about an upcoming battle. They rescue the Doctor and defeat the Covenant faction leader, but Halsey informs them a new threat is about to emerge. Meanwhile, Blue Team is on a mission on a research station. John 117 receives a cryptic message from Cortana asking him to go to the planet Meridian. In the hopes that Cortana is still alive, Master Chief and his team go AWOL, dropping their mission to find the missing AI. Dr. Halsey, Cortana's creator, fears that the AI survived using Forerunners technology and that she may be untrustworthy now. October 27, 2558. The UNSC sends Fire Team Osiris to track and capture Blue Team. Osiris reaches Meridian, where Blue Team is looking for Cortana. They catch up with Blue Team and order them to stand down and go back to the UNSC ship. Master Chief beats the leader of Osiris in a melee fight before hopping into a huge Peacemaker Forerunner construct called a Guardian. The Guardian takes John 117 and his Blue Team to Genesis, a Forerunner planet. They reunite with Cortana, which explains her terminal rampancy was cured by Forerunner technology, saving her. Fire Team Osiris tries to catch up with Blue Team. They land on a planet torn apart by a civil war, find a dormant Guardian of their own, and take off to Genesis. Once on the planet, Osiris meets 031, Exuberant Witness, the monitor of Genesis installation that had total control over its function. They team up to defeat Cortana, who took some of the Exuberant Witness's powers. Osiris finally reaches Blue Team and warns them that Cortana is planning to deploy Guardians throughout the galaxy to enforce peace by any means necessary. John 117 realizes this plan would cause massive destruction and tries to talk Cortana out of it. She refuses and locks Blue Team in a Forerunner prison so they wouldn't interfere with her plans. Osiris manages to give Genesis's control back to the Exuberant Witness, who frees Blue Team. But it's too little too late to stop Cortana, who leaves the planet on a Guardian. Cortana, who is now an enemy, creates her own army by rallying artificial intelligences across the galaxy. And that's where the story of Halo ends, at least for now. Halo Infinite should pick up the story right after these events, as Master Chief needs to stop his former ally, Cortana. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think will happen between Master Chief and Cortana? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more timelines about your favorite games.